Uh, no.
Sure sounds like it.
Pop out chat. See if I can, if I'm popped out. Let's take this guy and put it over here. All right. Hopefully everybody's followed us, followed
There it
us
is.
over. Where'd my chat go? Oh, there it is. There it isn't. What is up, hombres? Oh, wow. Big screen on the chat. Oh, wow. I've never had it like that before. Down. Just getting used to this new screen layout here. What is up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm right here. You're right here, everybody. BFT, CPG. Hang Cliffy. We're all up in here. Well, I am hunkering down. We're getting blasted with some snow up here in the um, Detroit region. Not looking like it's going to be fun. T Jubs snowing. Yep, yep. Our furthest, most westernest contact. Anybody in the western side of the old Michigan? What's your snow total look like right now? I think we're maybe half an inch. What up, David? Um, but regardless, we got a few things we're going to talk about today. One of which is actually just affected me today. That's why it's on my mind and all this stuff going around in the news. Not something I really talk about. I'm not a pro union kind of guy, Cap, and I don't really talk about that stuff. And I'm just going to, what up, Mr. Mark? Just gonna New York sucks. What up? Just gonna King Rancher. Just gonna dabble a little bit and how some of these things going on in the news with our commander here and what he's doing with um, stuff coming in and out of this country is kind of shaking stuff up to where people are thinking twice about spending money, and one of which spending money to get their truck fixed. I just had a gentleman from the other side of the border, the Great White North to be exact, who, which I don't blame him, wants to hold off on any repairs until uh, we can kind of figure out what's going on with whatever's going on here. So that is directly going to affect, um, our business flow, and having people cancel when they're going to be thinking twice about spending money, especially over here in the USA. And what I feel is going to happen, and BFT could probably feel this with this too, is going to be getting parts. And I have had a customer already who is scheduled, um, uh, I'd say at least a month and a half out right now. And he's projecting that there's going to be an issue and wanted me to get the parts right now so that we have them and we're not uh, hee hawing around trying to find parts when we're not able to. So I don't know if you guys are particularly finding issues with what is currently going on that's directly affecting you. If you guys have tried ordering stuff online, if you guys um, buy imported stuff bulk. I don't know if you guys are buying metals or if you guys buy road. I don't know, whatever the case is, but I don't. I try not to buy stuff online except for like AMSOIL stuff and parts that I need for jobs. But I don't know how this is going to play out with specifically. Oh yeah, and then New York Success brings up, yeah, the eggs issue. People are stealing eggs. Who? What? Wow. I don't think I ever would have thought I would have
I've been
saw.
I've been having timing belt problems getting timing belts from Europe.
Oh wow. Oh yeah, you're definitely ordering overseas.
But that's my fault because I caused Jayco and Ford to have bad parts forecasting. So whoops.
Yeah, TP. Now it's eggs. That's pretty crazy. Question, A-Rod, where the F is the lateral rate sensor, different from the yaw. The lateral rate sensor, I think, is built into the RCM. And that would be regardless of steel body or um Duty, center console. RCM is. What up, Ford Asset Tech? I have my own chickens and eggs. Okay, okay. I can dig that. Notifications slow. Zoodad. Yep, glad we got the chickens. Did I ever got the email I sent you? Yes, about yes, I remember. I can't remember off on the spot what it was, but yeah, I do remember getting an email from you.
Speaking of Zoodad, I
Zoo
sent
Daddy-o.
him I sent him where I was able to turn off the engine idle shutdown on the 23 models.
Mm.
And he's been working with that. So I was able to do it, and my screen looked totally different than his. Mine says fleet, his didn't. So
Mm.
I had to send him some files and put it that way.
To Zoodad, I just I it was probably back when we talked a while ago about programming a 23 fuel tank. We were gonna change some stuff. The dude said he's put about 4,000 miles on it, and he says it works fine. He doesn't have any issues. His distance to empty is apparently working just as it's supposed to. So oh yeah, and then the bird flu. Yeah, yeah. Remember back in like 07, 08? Remember when the bird flu was out and the swine
Yeah,
flu?
they're actually, I don't know if you've been watching it, but the one lady that's in charge, where she's really high up with the USDA or whatever it is, she got arrested recently for
Really?
basically that whole bird flu was a sham, the H5N1 or something like that. Mad cow, I remember the mad cow disease.
Yeah. Yeah. What's next, Mad Cow?
Yes, power stop brakes. I have those too.
Looks like
Recently
no.
installed that does.
It looks like they
Huh?
put an S, that name that shall not be named on here.
Who?
Uh, the
Good.
no limits.
No leaks. Yeah, buddy. I don't know. I can't speak. We cannot speak for the kit that you have on or anybody else's kits. I can tell you, using the SNS diesel motorsport DPK is the only way to go. Despite what you're reading on forums, it's either you do that or don't do that and do the DCR and completely rid yourself of having to do that ever again. So. Oh yeah, H1N1. Oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Okay, cows are getting it. Yeah, I did hear about that. I'm saving up for the Alcon brakes. I've never heard of those. Yeah, definitely King Ranch. My 20, we had the stock ones on. Excuse me. We had the stock ones on for, I would say, 20,000 miles. and 16,000 miles later, brake dust significantly lower. And you know how bad the stock OEM ones, even if you do the Wagner thermoquiet ones, they're um, really dusty. So definitely, as soon as you break them in, do the bedding procedure, and I would say maybe 100 miles, clean everything off, and then just drive, just drive like you've been driving normal. And yeah, definitely a difference. Okay, Max Paul got one. Here we go. I got me a 1767 with a 2291. ICP too low, right? ICP too. How is it ICP too low? Randomly won't start. And then it starts after extended cranking. Should I suspect CP4? 150K on the OD. Well, 2291 is ICP too low. Injection control pressure too low. When you break it down, we need to see 5,000, 4,500. It usually starts lighting off, but 5,000. To get that puppy started, thinking of draining fuel, driver side rail, looking at metal.
The rail, the rail is not a good indication of metal in the fuel because you'll get
Yeah.
metal coming out of the PCV. So
Mm-hmm.
that's not really a good indication. The only way is to go through the VCV.
Yep. There's two things we can tell you to do. One, take the intake off, see if the disco party came out to play, and if you have metal underneath that VCV, the fuel metering valve right on top of the CP4, you're done. So you know what you need to do. If you pull it, you don't find any metal, put it back in. You're either going to have to get a hold of a scan tool that will allow you to run some tests and monitor data, and or you're going to have to do a couple of things, one of which I want you to go through the pinpoint test, ME and M. It's at motorcraft.com. You can buy like 24 hours worth of time and just look at the material you need, print it out. And I want you to, we've had some good success with helping gentlemen out trying to find these low fuel pressure codes, and winds up being injectors, injector or plural. I want you to disconnect all the fuel injectors electrically. I want you to then, if you have the 11 through 16, I want you to disconnect the fuel return piggyback line off of the secondary fuel filter and plug the yellow line back into the fuel filter, just leaving the return line flopping there. If you have the Duty, I just want you to just disconnect the return line. And now that the injectors are disconnected, when you go to crank the engine, now you're going to be commanding full fuel rail pressure. You're deadheading everything. And now you're going to be checking for fuel flow out of that return line. If you get fuel flow out of that return line, which is not supposed to have any fuel flow, you're going to pull the glow plugs and do the glow plug mist test, find out which hole is wet. That will tell you what injector is leaking internally. But assuming you've already checked the VCV, like we first talked about, and the driver's side rail is only like a couple $100, man. It's easy to change. There's three pieces in it: FRP, an orifice that can become dislodged, and a PCV, pressure control valve in the back. Now, that orifice is only supposed to regulate, not regulate,
It's a diverter now, if you want to call it.
divert, so that it can equalize the pressure between both rails. So if that becomes dislodged, Cody, do you think you'd really get a 2291?
It would likely be an 87 or an 88 because it smashes the PCV.
So do you put a rail on it and see if that fixes it, or Do you
I
go
would
through?
I would do the injector check. If you got fuel while cranking it, but the injector's disconnected, then you're gonna pull the return lines off the injectors and find it. And when you pull the
Mhm.
return lines, you might as well pull the glow plugs to see if you have any leaking out of the nozzles. You don't find anything there, then it's put a rail in it, and if it still does it, put a pump in it.
I like no limits photography. Thanks for answering. I stalled the other kit.
The
Well,
last one I had like this, it was the rail.
I
I
call
went
fuel
through
rail.
all that. Yep. That's why I said I call fuel rail.
I call
I
fuel
jumped
I
the
mean,
rail.
gun on that one. He does need to go through the pinpoint test first, but the last one
I
that I
would.
did, it was a rail.
I see so many of them. It's like it's just a gamble, roll the dice, which one it is. Could be the heads of the injection pump too.
I did
The
David
valve,
Blaze
the valves of
or
the pump, and
Bays. Mm-hmm. Thoughts on idling your diesel video from another YouTube? I love how you
I,
guys
s-
aren't talking. That's awesome. We can all
I
talk in
saw that.
code.
oh, you
You know,
you see who else talked about that on the
no.
Talk of the Tick?
Oh
Hmm.
no, I did
Another
not.
guy that we used to talk.
Oh, well, it's um okay, this is the thing. This is my opinion. I have a 23 years of information and knowledge that I reflect back that I use to base my opinions on. I know that when you cold start a diesel, we're not going to talk about gasolines right now. We're going to talk about the stuff that matters. And it's these trucks, these diesels. When you cold start a diesel, it doesn't want to do anything for you until it warms up. I don't know about you, but I have arthritics, and being in this location, um, I really don't want to drive away in a frigid vehicle. Okay. At least let me get the bottom row of the windshield that's just starting to melt, At least give me that. Um, I am about warming it up. I'm not saying sit there for a half an hour, let that thing go for 45 minutes, but give me 10 minutes, probably lose track of time and getting fiddle farting together at 15 minutes comes by. Um, I don't think that is hurting anything. Now, a lot of guys are going to use their high idle switch when it's that cold. I don't know if I would want it to immediately go right into high idle, but as soon as it's stabilized for, a minute or two, I would kick it up to 1200 RPM and let it sit there and let the after treatment warm up and let everything come alive and start to expand. Um, how about high idle for 5 minutes ago? Absolutely. I don't see anything wrong with that. And I don't know what these other people are basing their um, findings on. I'm sure many more years of experience, more than myself, but I can't agree with some of those things. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. But diesels work on heat of compression. Heat of compression. It's not going to do anything for you when you just drive away. 6073, it ain't doing nothing.
My 7.3
No.
don't do it. My 7.3 doesn't do anything for at least 5 or 10 minutes, but even down here,
hmm
it
These six
doesn't.
sevens you can get and pull away, absolutely. But I mean, these are machines, and I would anticipate you all would at least let it warm up instead of just getting in and driving away. Plus, you're gonna have to let everything defrost, and then it's just not gonna defrost in 2 minutes. Now, gas jobs. Um, I'm guilty of hitting the remote start twice. Gas job. I mean, I don't really care. Now, don't get me wrong. For every hour of idling is equivalent to 30 miles of driving. So if you're going to be idling a shit ton, you might have to critique your maintenance schedule because you might get a little more fuel dilution, might have a little more I don't know. Uh I don't know that I feel like you get a lot of the white foamy like condensation buildup on the bottom of the oil fill cap, and you'll see that down in some of the parts once it's off for a minute and all the vapors clear. I don't know. Use good oil, check your oil, you change your oil. You want to idle your vehicle? Who the fuck cares? Idle
My
it's a
catch can catch
machine.
my catch
Yep.
can catches all that condensation, like you talking about under the cap.
Mm-hmm.
I bet
Mm-hmm.
that thing is
Yeah.
just nasty.
Mine's not under the
Mark,
capping. Catch can gets it.
Mark, Mark, I think BD does have a kit. I made a video doing one to a 23, and it's got to be the same for a 24. It's a pain in the butt to get the connector. You'll see me fight with it, but oh man, they work great. BD has a great um high idle kit for you guys, and it
They
plugs
even
right into the factory a PTO hookup connector under the dash. Works really well.
they have one for the F-150 diesel too.
Where did they plug that in?
OBD2 port.
Wow. Interesting. Interesting. The video was first aired on the news when Dave had no gray in his hair. Yeah, control it. Yep, yep, yep. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I miss the guy up here? Hmm. I had a 2291 and a 228F and a few other codes. I replaced the regulator on the fuel rail. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Seen that a bunch. Seen that a bunch. Would IPC valve worth changing as it is random? Hmm. I mean, it's worth a shot, man. You
Just
don't
remember that it's got to be torqued correctly.
I was gonna
mm-hmm.
say it's got to be torqued, and the new rail comes with one on it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Once
You
you
don't
take
torque
that
it.
out, you'll never get it right when you try to put it back in.
Chevrolet,
P054F. I can't remember what that is. What code is that?
I've
P054F. Idle
I've been
air
working on
control or
I've been working on too many EVs to remember.
yeah, idle control. A fuel quantity. Uh, where is it? What was his name? Romeo? Where's my window? Romario. I think there is a an updated PCM calibration. You might want to take it to a shop that has the IDS, or FDRS, the Ford stuff, or come to Detroit and let me take care of it. But I think your truck might need to be reprogrammed, um, and a couple of things reset in the specified function section. Remote start and high idle button. You guys are spoiled. LL, I'm kidding. What up, Papa's Hobby Garage? Hello. Hello. I ran every truck in a fleet in North Dakota oil fields idling all the time will glaze your cylinders over a very long period of time. Idle for 20 minutes before work won't hurt anything. Keep that oil clean. You damn right.
I mean, here I just let the high idle come down, then I take off. But
Okay.
They should see some of the hours on my trucks. Aaron, you've seen some of them.
Lots. Lots.
any of
Lots.
them any of them equal out to 1,000,000 miles yet?
Um, that one I showed Aaron not too long ago, it had like 600 something thousand miles on it. And I forgot what the engine hours was. It was up there, man. Like the look on Aaron's face on video chat was just perfect. You know how he does.
That's correct. Robert, hey, what up? Well, hi guys. One of the things the community has really been kind of pissed off about with Ford. One of their infinite pieces of wisdom, they had a good thing going. Every Ford vehicles had this on their vehicle for, I don't know, the last 30 freaking years. And they take the Ford accessory keyless entry pad off of the B pillar sail panel on the outside or the by the door handle. There's no more freaking keypad for these 23 to 25 Super Duties and F-150 vehicles, which is kind of um kind of a pain in the ass. A lot of you guys, myself included, I use it all the time. A lot of you guys um were kind of bent about that. I saw a couple of pictures online, and I think those guys probably got roasted with purchasing the Ford accessory one that you can add on and putting it in some funky places underneath the mirror, down under the door hand. I don't know. It doesn't look right because that's not where these keypads were. They've always been either molded into the door, not stuck on the door like 3M tape. Um, I do cars. Zoom isn't zooming. I'm trying to get in. Oh, there he is. Maybe I've seen it and just haven't hit the button. Admit.
Zoom,
Um,
zoom.
Ford has put out a bulletin.
Hey, hi.
Um,
Hey, hi. Hello.
hello, hello. Dang, look at that background, looking fly, brother.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Looking
you.
fly, brother.
Thanks.
Let's get some information here in the chat. I want you guys to be able to check this out. This is Ford's SSM. This is 53,360. Let me go ahead and just see if I can copy and paste this. This is for all you guys with these brand new trucks. Couldn't wait, had to get a new truck. This is the SSM. And there's also some information here with the part number if you want to add that sticky one on. But is it too much text? All right, let me just do half of it. Let me do half of it. You guys can order this, and then I have to deal with a bunch of ball bags at the dealer. Keypad, the radio, copy, paste, expected to be available, copy, paste. There we go. There's a couple of part numbers on here, so you guys can try to yeah, it looks kind of lame. Yeah, I'm not gonna
I love
Where
how
did-
it's not
where does it
available
go?
until Q3.
Where is it mounted?
Wherever you
I
want to put
mean,
it.
yeah. It's just they give you a new part number because it works on a different frequency. than the previous model. So they also are telling you guys not to add the previous model because the wiring's not there. Don't do it. It's not going to work. Don't waste your time. It's just, it ain't going to work.
I mean,
I was
all it
reading
is
that
is
this morning. Oh,
all it
go
is
ahead.
a key fob. That's all it is. It's a key fob.
I
with
was reading
numbers
that
on
this
it.
morning. Like, this is lame.
I know.
Like, is it a rolling code or is it just a frequency?
I think it's
So,
just,
oh, hang on.
it's just a key fob.
Says, I know, but key fobs now, usually when you hit the lock or unlock button, it's a rolling code.
Hmm.
But I have something that can capture that.
Here we go. Another problem for the 23 to 25 Super Duties. Some 23, 25 Super Duties vehicles may have a check engine light on with a whole bunch of codes for the injector driver circuits, and they want you to check the connector at the left rear of the engine compartment, C1580, while the engine's at normal operating temperature, and it wants you to look at pins 18 to 29. I don't know if you guys are having any problem. Check engine light on, wrench light on, whole bunch of weird perceived lack of power intermittently. It's brand new, just came out today.
Yeah,
Obviously,
sounds like-
they've had enough complaints with this particular issue that they had to put out a special service message because it hasn't happened once, it hasn't happened twice, it's happened a bunch of times, and now they
I
need
think
to
it's like 25 times and it gets a look at.
really interesting.
I always wonder how those thresholds are met. Like, how do they set that? Do they put a time parameter on it? Like,
There is a time and numbers done.
I can imagine.
Kind of like broken cranks on Rangers. They haven't hit the threshold yet.
Hmm.
It's close, but they haven't hit the threshold yet. Same thing with cam gears. They haven't hit the threshold for that either.
Yeah, I'm sure they will eventually.
Dude, your background's awesome. I don't know if like it's like you're in a garage. I feel like you could have like a bar set up back over here.
I-
Like the brick. That looks gangster, man. So,
I wish I had enough room to like make this like a cool place to hang out, but this is, I mean, it is, but this is for doing work. It's just
Hey,
this area is probably the nicest looking because that's the original brick off my house. Like that's the old
Oh, cool.
exterior wall from my house.
that's cool.
So that looks pretty good. But I didn't put brick anywhere else because I didn't do that. That was just too much money. It would have looked really cool though.
That's down the road.
Todd Cunningham. Not to keep beating the issue, not beating the issue at all, but how long is Ford going to get away with the CP4 issue? I don't know. Reprogram is not going to fix the issue. I agree with you 100%. A total recall needs to be sent out by the courts. Well, look at this. If it's something stupid, just like this right here, and we've been using it since 2011, and here it is 2025, and we're still using the CP4, CP4, CP4. I don't care if CP4.2, CP4 with pin buckets, CP4, blah, blah, blah. It's still CP4. It's always about the money.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the cheapest part they could put on there.
I mean, they probably got a contract with Bosch for 20 years, 20 to 30
exactly.
years.
There's something going on with them and
So-
Bosch. 100%. 100%.
I mean, all of them are CP. All the Super Duty and F-150s are CP4.2s anyways, because we got two
What
cylinders.
What I find kind of ironic is since I started working on them in 2000, diesels, the power strokes, it has been stamped, cattle prodded into my mind that whenever we get a vehicle in and it's not running right, we take a fuel sample, check it. Oh, oh, that's not Ford's problem. Sorry, buddy. It's on you. Fuel has never been Ford's problem. That's a customer's problem. Ford didn't make the fuel. Why are they going to warranty something that it's not? That's not their problem. But here we are. Fast forward 20 years later. Well, not 20 years later. Well, 20 years if you're going from 2000. Now they're fessing up and they're saying, "Oh, by golly, you know what? We used some crappy biodiesel. You know what? And just these small group of trucks, we don't care that CP4s have been in since 2011. Just these small group of trucks, they're going to get a special reprogram that's going to fix this mechanical problem that they've deemed that
There's
was
a
caused
reason.
by."
There's a
Listen.
reason why this small set of trucks got a recall. And the rest did not.
Oh, we just blame it on COVID, right? We just
There is
blame it
a
on COVID.
there is a legitimate reason, but that's as far as I can go.
We just blame it on COVID.
Is it like my question is who's it legitimate to?
Not the consumer.
No.
Not the consumer. Is there any way to go back if the dealer has flashed the PCM with the latest and greatest update? No, but I know that maybe Forescan can do some. I don't know how to do it, but I've heard that if you do something with, I don't know. I think Forescan might be able to, but I could not tell you how. I
You
could.
might, depending on the
You-
year, you might be able to get a used PCM and change reprogram just the VIN and the perimeter reset, depending on what year it is.
You can upload factory files with Forescan to trucks, but you have to have the factory file.
Yeah, how would you have
Well-
the older files like those? Where do those exist?
You'd have to go find it.
How do people have
Yeah.
gold?
You can't just pick
I
the
have
file you
I
put in
have
the PCM.
I have two different files for the Land Rover. The one before I flashed it and the one after I flashed it with the update. I
Yeah,
pulled my own files.
but you saved them. But the problem is that doesn't help the guy that didn't do that.
They should be. They're out there. You just gotta find the right place.
Doggy's got to go up.
They're out there. I was able to find the original file from the Land Rover. I mean,
Ah.
it cost me $10 to get, but
I mean, I'd say that's a small price.
and I could shove it on with my VCM and my laptop and a certain program.
When you guys are in the shop, what's your go-to back scratcher? Trim tool or flat blade screwdriver? Ooh.
The
What's
post
the-
of the lift.
Oh
What-
my gosh. Oh. Hold
So,
on, let me get
my-
the other side.
My buddy just got married
Oh.
in October, and as a gag gift, well, he needed a sawzall. He didn't own a sawzall, so I bought him a sawzall, and then he always complained that his wife to be never scratches back. So what I did is I took one of those $2 back scratchers you get at Northern Tool, and I took the handle off of it and I tack welded it to a sawzall blade that I ground all the teeth off of, and then that way you can put the back scratcher in the sawzall, and then she could scratch his back with the sawzall. And he thought it was fantastic, and she did not.
I love it. I love it.
It was a good one.
I love it. Yeah, the post lift. Mm-hmm. 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 Come on. Get in here, dogs. Come on, dogs.
Look at them puppers.
Here comes my problem child. She's
Did you get
got
any-
white all over her nose. Look like
Oh,
she's
from
been.
the snow?
Mhm. Oh, it's coming down.
Really? You guys getting hammered with it?
Let me look at the let me hit refresh the data. Let me refresh the yeah, we have a little clearing right now, and then it looks like we're gonna get another round.
We got an inch and a half today, and they shut down my kid's school. They closed down like all this stuff. I'm like, it's an inch and a like nothing happened. It's like nothing. But whatever, it's not my call.
Oh, poor Bosch.
I don't feel bad for them.
Poor Bosch. Poor Bosch. I also follow KYD. A-Rod, I saw your video for their fuel pump upgrade. Nice. Yes, yes. It was a very popular one, especially doing the pusher intake and showing you guys the flow of the intake compared to the stock one and how just crappy flowing it was. Um, a lot of you guys, liked it. And one of the next ones we have been doing is the fleece fuel filter upgrades. Man, you guys are going to dig the video we have for you on Friday. I just did a fleece upgrade today on a 19, upper and lower. Freaking flawless. Looks great. Works great. Um, Plug and play. No lines, no AN fittings, no cut and return lines. It was really nice. Looked great. Now, what this guy is going to be thinking, do you do Bilsteins 5100s or do you do Fox? I'm going to take the Rancheros out. We're not doing the stock ones that you're going to get over the counter. What do you do? The 5100s? Do you do the Fox? Is there another set that you guys would do? Is there some sort of I don't know, king coilovers? I think that's a little too excessive for this older gentleman. Just wants to do the, little lateral move to um um OEM replacement, maybe a little upgrade. Yes, Jack L, the fleece fuel filters. We did a video a few weeks ago. Just phenomenal. 5100s, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did
C-dub.
5100s on 3 trucks so far. My Super Duty, my 3/4 ton truck, and my half-ton truck.
I like them.
I do. I like them too because if something happens, you just send them in
Mm-hmm.
and you get another one. It's just easy. It's not a lot of parts that are that easy to deal with when something goes wrong.
Yeah, I think that's what that guy might wind up doing, and doing the a steering stabilizer as well. So yeah, I want sour cream. Fox are nice, but I'll have you know, all silver body shocks are the same. Built on the same factory. Holler. I drove a Fox, personal experience. I mean, I got them on my truck. I bought them. That was my replacements. But I think a lot of the guys that have came through that had me do some upgrades have gotten the Bilsteins. I have done a handful of the Fox, but I think when I go thinking back, I think I've done more 5100s. But we're gonna upgrade the steering shock damper, so we're actually gonna be doing 5, and I have an email from a gentleman I have not responded to talking about airbags. If you guys are getting airbags for the back of your duty, are you getting the ones that have the Schrader valves that you just got to go up to it and go psst, 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 or are you putting the onboard compressor where it's got the little key fob? You got to hit your switch, turn it on, pump up your stuff. What do you guys do? I have somebody that wants me to put some on, and I'm kind of Do I really
want a
want to
good-
do airbags?
You want a good one? You want a good suspension? Open up a tab and type in liquid spring suspension.
Oh
screen share.
yeah, I know about that. Mm.
I deal with those things every day. I do know that the fluid that goes into it for the pump is $64 a quart.
Oh,
And you can't go buy it in an auto parts store. You have to order it directly from Liquid Spring.
Aaron
Made of
Benson.
whale tears or something? What is it?
I don't think I've ever seen Aaron spelled like that before. Huh. What up, my dude? Airlift comes with manifold compressor control, all really nice. Let me look at that. Airlift airbags with pump. Oh, with compressor. Oh, wow.
Made out of whales. That's good.
Airlift company. What is a company? $2020. Edge. Ain't nobody putting this on an edge. Trim. Single. Drive. Four wheel. Find compatible. There's 5 kits. Oh, son of a beanstein. Let's do, I'm going to do a pro install. A pro install. Load Lifter Pro Series. Oh, wow. It's got the little compressor doodad and all that, huh? Wireless. Who's got airbags on their truck? You got airbags on your truck? Who got airbags on their truck? Don't leave the remote for the compressor attached to the sun visor. Ask me how I know.
I can imagine how bad that.
Hey Rod, how often do you see a P0402 after lower cold side math code? Got math MILF on the lower side, hole and replaced. Yep. Tech says EGR valve is warped. And needs to be replaced. What I probably would do is clear the codes and I would do a math reset. So you mean to tell me the EGR valve was fine before you got the hole? After you got this hole that allowed your boost pressure to leak out, that has nothing to do with your EGR system.
Or exhaust.
That warped the valve. How did he come to this conclusion?
Parts
I mean,
cannon.
Yeah,
Come on.
Technically, when you lose boost, you do raise EGTs. Technically.
Yeah, but was it flowing? I doubt it.
I would clear the code, reset the parameters, test drive, and monitor the PIDs at the same time.
What up, Zeekster? Holla. I don't have a truck, but I bought a $40 infotainment center from Temu, and the wiring harness cost me $60. Wish me luck. The easy install comes with everything mounted together. Oh, wow. Don't waste money for the onboard crap. Just use a Schrader valve and a 12-volt pump. Been doing it for years. Okay. What's up, dudes? Oh, headquarters in Lansing. Ah, okay. I can dig it. Yeah, I've had a couple of ambulances that had the liquid springies. They were very liquidy when they were leaking. Liquidy.
And so it's a pneumatic system.
Yeah, it's a whole.
It's a whole system by itself. You can get four
Mm-hmm.
corner or two corner,
Hmm.
and it's got a shock that has a special liquid in it. So you have your input and your output, and it has its own pump. It's basically
Was there
12
got
volts.
a electro hydraulic pump then?
Yeah, it's got a pump and then it has a reservoir. So basically, what the guy told us in class is it's 12 volts, nuts and bolts. That's it. And then you have a steering angle sensor. So, and you can recalibrate it. You can set your ride height, high, low, sport, whatever you want to do. But when they start leaking, oh God. And you don't have to bleed the system. Once you change one of those out, you just lower the suspension all the way down, change the shock out, connect the hoses back together, and then
Yeah,
recalibrate it. It'll self-bleed.
that's awesome. So
It's
when they,
expensive.
yeah, well, I'm sure anything that's good usually is. Uh, when they start leaking, is it like a seep or is it like a holy crap, it
All,
will blow itself up?
all snotty all over.
It'll start out as a seep. You'll see it around the bellow or the boot on the bottom of the shock. Kind of like when a strut starts to leak. It'll
Yeah,
look like that. And then if you let it go, it'll just be like a puddle. And it's like Aaron said, it's kind of like a snotty looking. And it's very temperature dependent. Too hot, too cold, it doesn't want to work right. But
huh. That sounds like kind of akin to Mercedes ABC, the automatic body control. They have a pneumatic, it's an engine driven pneumatic pump and it has reservoirs and two lines to every shock and they leak and they have all kinds of they have issues.
so it's got its own pump. It's got its reservoir, and then it has a pump attached to that, which will
Yeah.
pump it to the shocks. It wires into the battery and it has like a 50 amp mega fuse. That's basically what gives it power.
What I wonder what that pump
C-dub
looks
coming
like.
through.
Huh?
I wonder what that pump looks like because there's a lot of manufacturers that use electro hydraulic pumps and sometimes they use ones that are proprietary and sometimes they're not so proprietary. Sometimes it's like a shelved product from some other application.
Those are bad boys. Oh, I see. And then you use that. Oh, wow. Isn't Amazon so cool? And here to think, like 20 years ago, I'm hearing people like, "Oh yeah, I got this on Amazon." Like, why? What are you buying stuff from the rainforest from? Like, what the hell? What is it? We bought a book from the woods? What the hell is? Oh, oh. That's so funny. Full motion liquid spring. Oh, it's even on the RVs. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to see the parts list,
Game
but
changer.
so you can do it. Oops. I'm over here clicking
Hey,
on a bunch of
everyone.
random.
Hey, everyone. Meet Matt. Meet Man Matt's here. Baba Booey. I hear him cracking up right now.
I guess an adventure truck. I don't.
Yeah,
Who's here?
Meet Man Matt.
Oh, uh, my VPN's on. Apparently, Ireland has some slow internet. There we go.
I still
Oh,
don't see what I want. I just want to know what the pump looks like.
I'm trying to find it.
I wonder if you could just
Sure, I could.
Google it. Right?
yeah, Caleb. The good thing about these 6-7 hoses, you can replace just the seal. So if you drain like a half gallon, 3/4 of a gallon of coolant out, it'll give you just enough low level, pop that hose off, put a new O-ring in, pop it back on. Oh, you're good to go.
Like that.
So that pump looks identical to the one that they use in a lot of the handicap accessible conversions for the tray that picks people up and puts them in their van.
Hmm.
It looks like the hoist pump that's on the side of my lift.
It does look just like that. It
Well,
really does. I think that's more the reservoir that looking like that because that your lift pump probably doesn't have a whole bunch of solenoids on it.
no, I don't think so.
Interesting. That's cool. I wonder what happens if you put ATF in it. It's hydraulic fluid.
I
No.
mean,
It will turn to like it would be like putting DEF in diesel.
oof.
Really?
Yes.
If you had a completely dry system that's never had any,
Yes. Yep. It'll fry the pump.
huh?
Nasty. Is that other stuff? Where'd you buy it at?
From Liquid Spring.
Oh, no kidding.
Wow.
I mean, that's cool.
It's
How much does that
it's
system
their
hold?
own. Huh?
I wonder what does the system hold? A couple quarts?
I think it's like 3 quarts.
Okay, so that's not
3.5.
terrible. So you're talking about like
Three-
100, 150, 160 bucks for fluid. It's not terrible.
Yeah, it's not too bad, but
I
when you
mean,
got it on how many trucks? You
yeah.
know what I
I mean,
mean?
how
But
often do you have to change it too?
you don't
Yeah. So that's the
unless
other
you're
thing.
changing
Like
out a spring.
my like the BMW has special fluid for the transfer case for their all-wheel drive cars, and it's 40 some odd dollars or $50 a quart. It only holds 1 quart, but you also got to you're supposed to change it every 60 to 80,000 miles, and it's a pain in the ass on most of the cars.
The Land Rover fluid for mine, they're about to go
Oh man.
for bot 850.
Some of that fluid, man. I
Yeah.
feel like that's how the power steering fluid is for some of my European cars too. That CHF stuff is expensive. Used to not be that way. I found a receipt when I first bought the power steering fluid for my first BMW, and I think I paid $8.99 for a pint. And I thought that was expensive back then, and then now it's like 20 some odd dollars for the same pint.
Mhm.
It's just how it goes.
I guess $100 for every 25,000 miles is not too bad.
I wonder how many people actually change it though.
Mine was actually pretty clear when I changed it. It looked like what I put in
Dang,
it.
meat man, man.
I didn't know, so you know, she might as well change it. The 2-speed transfer case has aftermarket fluid that you can get you.
Hmm,
Single speed open
Oh,
diff, it does not.
I
shit.
see.
Oh yeah, that boy clapped. Yeah, I don't. Oh man. Yeah, super cab. Yeah, I don't know, man. She clizzied. I mean, she probably started. Did she start up and run? No, still sitting at my buddy's shop. Good parts truck.
What is it?
6.0 diesel.
What trim level?
Looks like layer. It's got leather, super cab, 6 foot bed.
Hmm. Where's it
Um,
at?
west side of the state,
Hmm.
like by the Grand Rapids area.
Yeah. I do really well on those trucks, but they got to be like I buy King Ranches when I can. Like once every 2
No,
months, I can get a 6.0 King Ranch.
no. Let me see. No, I don't think. What do you say? No, no, no. It's not. I don't think it's King Ranch. Definitely not King Ranch.
I didn't tell you
Yeah.
guys, but I sent F-150 crank to Germany for a
You
guy.
sent?
Yep. Crank bearings, elector wheel, rods, rod bearings. They
Wow.
can't get them over there.
Wow.
I guess a used crank from a Land Rover is over €1,000.
Well, I mean, they sell here on eBay for like 800 to $1,000. So yeah, I could imagine that.
He got a new crank from Lakeland Ford for $750. And it was like $600 to ship all the stuff.
Holy cow. Yeah, I could see that.
But it was like 3-day shipping. So then he still has to pay VAT on it when I got there. But
He says the lariat. Ficum, TCM, PCM, and harnesses are all obsolete. Make your money back on those alone. Yeah, if I had a place to store it, I probably would. But I ain't even trying to work on those things anymore. So I wouldn't even have a reason to keep the shit. Now you talking about 6.7 stuff. I ain't throwing none away for 6.7. I got so many parts for 6.7. Shoot. Shoot.
I need to get a storage unit just for 3-liter parts.
Shoot. Anybody want to help me find a VCM3 that's brand new? I'm looking for one. You guys can let me know because we're going to end it here and we're going to get into the after party, the after snow party / shovel extraordinaire because it's, yeah. Yeah, no 6.4s. 6.0s, yeah, 6.4s. I turn away a lot of 6.4s. I don't want any 6.4s.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But
Let me know what you guys think.
Yeah.
Got any questions? Hit the email. You guys want to get in for service? Hit the email. Other than that, I guess I'll see you guys later. Everybody, Cliffy, BFT, Eric, CPG. See you on the other side.